Oh boy, I think we're going to end up doing the last category, the biggest, most dramatic category, the last. This is our last deliberation.
Yeah, you saved the best for last, right?
Yeah. So drama right now, in just whatever order we put them out, we have Altered Carbon, The Walking Dead season 8B.
Oh,
The Terror.
God.
The Terror. Star Trek Disco, The Expanse, Westworld, Lost in Space, Succession, Sharp Objects, Handmaid's Tale, Castle Rock, Better Call Saul, Legion, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Ozark, The Deuce, Maniac, Jack Ryan, Romanoffs, Haunting of House Hill, American Horror Story, Apocalypse, Homecoming, Daredevil, Black Mirror, Bandersnatch.
I've got 2 suggested changes right now.
Altered Carbon, Walking Dead, get the fuck out of there.
Walking Dead to number 24, Sabrina to number 23.
Okay. Sabrina. I went ahead and threw Altered Carbon down there too, although that's probably too far.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shit, I liked Altered Carbon more than like Jack Ryan. Hell of a lot more than the Romanoffs.
Do we have Romanoffs? Okay.
Oh, yeah, Romanoffs. 20.
Yeah, it's worse than Walking Dead this year, sure.
It's more disappointing. I feel like it got its due there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a worse show than The Walking Dead.
You would say Jack Ryan needs to go down here?
Yeah, it'll go
below Sabrina, above Sabrina.
I just throw it all down. Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares? I mean, this is
it's
out of the top 10. It's out of the top 20.
How about, okay, Lost in Space? What the fuck are we even doing with this on here?
It's literally everything we watched last year. So, yeah, just anywhere.
All right, okay, that's okay. Succession maybe has a Handmaid's Tale, Castle Rock, Better Call Saul, Legion. Okay, all right, I think we're getting there. All right, so The Deuce down at 11.
Star Trek Disco can go down too.
Star Trek Disco?
It's not gonna hit the top 10. I can tell you that.
All right, so I'm gonna put it below Daredevil.
Okay,
just for starters. Okay, Terror's pretty good. The Expanse pretty good. Westworld,
not good.
Okay, what about Succession?
Succession,
better than Westworld.
Man, I'm so naturally biased against Succession.
I didn't even watch it, so
I watched the whole.
Was it better than Westworld?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was more entertaining than Westworld, 100%. But then, like, I didn't like Westworld.
Okay, let's see how. Okay, I'm gonna take Succession and Westworld as a unit just for shits.
Okay, keep them going down.
Okay, worse than Sharp Objects, worse than Handmaid's Tale, I'm going to assume. Worse than Castle Rock?
We might have to include that in the block that's moving down.
Okay.
Because...
Yeah, I thought Castle Rock was one that could have been awesome rolling into the last 2 episodes and ended up shitting the bed. But, all right, Better and Better Call Saul, no. Legion, no. Ozark, no. The Deuce, no. Maniac?
No.
No. Haunting, no. American Horror? Okay.
It's all you, man.
I mean, American Horror is a really good, really good fun season.
Okay, not better than Homecoming, not Daredevil, not Black Mirror.
Okay, but wait a second. I'm gonna throw these.
Not Altered Carbon, frankly. I enjoyed Altered Carbon more than any of those shows this year.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, keep them going down. Let's just.
Oh shit! What? Okay. All right. So we got this block: Succession, Westworld, and Castle Rock. American Horror is tough. I'm gonna leave. I think we're okay. Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, higher.
I could see that going higher.
I'm gonna put it up in the top. It's not gonna stay.
Let me ask you this: is it television?
It's something.
We discussed this right before the video started, but is that TV or is that a movie, or is it something entirely different that doesn't belong on any list, other than maybe most surprising?
Is it Choose Your Own Adventure book a book?
Yes.
Is it a novel?
You'd have to have a pretty damn big Choose Your Own Adventure book to be a novel. Maybe a novella? Okay. So I think there's your answer. Like, it's a TV show, but is it a narrative drama? Or is it a thought experiment? Or is it a statement about our passive viewing and being wrapped up in the lives of fiction? I mean, or is it all of those things?
Yeah, it's a fucking Black Mirror episode. Like, is Black Mirror television? Shit. You can't.
But will the Breaking Bad movie, for instance, when that comes out, be eligible under
it's a
television
movie.
drama? So I feel like Black Mirror is roughly the same. Like,
its roots are a television show, but that is most certainly not an episode of television.
The thing is, it's not. Here's the problem. It's not the problem with Bandersnatch is it's not a season of television. If this came out with 4 other episodes of Black Mirror, then you could judge it with Black Mirror. So I almost feel like this needs to go at the bottom of the list, just because, not because it's bad, just because it's like a miniseries got accidentally slotted into a regular series, and like, oh fuck, what do you do? Well, it can't win its category, and honestly, like, it would not do well in the movie category. It's not going to sniff the top 10 in movies, I don't think. So, like, fuck it. Put it at the bottom.
I don't think it did.
This is what you get for doing something inventive and new.
You get a lot
that
of
we don't know what to do about. You're even worse than the Romanovs.
We're off the screen. We gotta fix that. Yeah.
Okay, back on the screen.
I feel like no, we didn't add any.
All right, so shit. What are we doing? I feel like we got our...
I mean, we're kind of just talking about the exceptions.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go from the bottom now. So we got Black Mirror at the bottom, Romanoffs, Walking Dead, Lost in Space, Chilling Adventures, Jack Ryan's...
Do you legitimately think that the Romanoffs is worse than the Walking Dead's final half of season 8?
Yes. The four episodes of Walking Dead that I missed did not waste my time. They were entertaining.
No. Not 9A. 8B.
Oh.
The last half of the last season we covered.
Oh God, no! Oh God, no!
Okay.
I mean, it's an argument though. There was no joy, mirth, or anything, and like I laughed bitter, mocking humor at The Walking Dead a few times. But I guess it's not as good looking. It's whatever. Like but 9A, which I did see last year, absolutely better than Romanoffs. Lost in Space. This thing looks like garbage.
I mean, it's not. It's a fun family adventure series. Like, you don't like those, but I don't think it was a poorly made one of those. I think it was actually pretty good for what it is.
Okay.
It's not going to even sniff the top 10 here, but
I mean,
I'm fine with where it is at the moment. Although I think Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was worse. Can
you tell me whether Jack Ryan is better than Star Trek? Did you watch all of Jack Ryan?
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with where those are.
Okay.
But I might be Star Trek biased.
Like I said, American Horror Story had a historically great season that kind of fell apart in the last episode or two. Wow. Yeah.
Did you see all of season 1 of Star Trek, or did you skip to season 2? Okay.
Yeah, I skipped to season 2.
Because I can make a case for Star Trek being better than Castle Rock.
Okay, I would listen to that case.
But I think that's as high as it could possibly get.
I actually liked American Horror better than Castle Rock.
Okay.
But yeah, then you're right. Yeah, then you're starting to get into the genuinely good stuff.
Right.
I thought Castle Rock could have been in that genuinely good stack, but the last 2 episodes didn't do it for me. Okay, so now we've got a top 15 that I feel good about. Do I? There might be some crazy shit still
like
in there.
Handmaids can't get that high just simply because we didn't watch it.
All right, so is Homecoming better than Terror? Let's start at the top now. Is Homecoming better than Terror? The Terror.
Oh, those are so radically different shows.
I got to kind of recuse myself. I say no, but I've only seen 3 episodes of Homeland.
Dude, Homecoming.
Homecoming,
they do,
yes.
I know, that's such a generic fucking name.
Right.
Which is like 9/10 of the reason I didn't watch it earlier.
I know. The other 9/10 was it was on Amazon.
Yeah, fair. Sam Esmail was the 1/10 that made me want to watch it, and then it was great. And I feel like that show gets better as it goes, and some of the techniques that Sam Esmail is pioneering here are, in my mind, revolutionary.
I think so. And I say the same thing about Noah Hawley, and I feel like there's a little bit of cross-pollination because this looks a lot like late Fargo and late Legion as well. Like, it's definitely the Esmail kind of squared off aesthetic, and it's not quite as Wes Anderson as Hawley, but I do feel like these guys are kind of
more
like
techno.
These guys are changing what
vibe.
Television is going to look like.
Yeah.
As much as anybody.
The shit that Sam Esmail is doing simply with aspect ratio is incredible in that show, and you won't know it until you get into later episodes.
I'm saying like just that even maybe more fantastical and colorful over on the what Hawley's doing at Legion.
Right. Yeah. It's like Sam Esmail dressed in spandex.
Yeah, it's very it's like Kubrickian Anderson, and maybe Esmail's more Kubrick and Holly's more Wes Anderson, but that's who those styles that they feel very blended in there.
So can we not have the battle over number one right now?
That's fine.
Can we kind of go a little further down this list and sort things? Because The Expanse is better than Daredevil.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's for sure.
I was hoping you weren't going to fight me on that because
No, I actually say The Expanse is better than Homecoming, but then
so I don't want to have this top number one battle yet.
Okay. Well,
let's just throw it up there. Sure. For now, that's where we'll go. Sharp Objects, better than Daredevil, easily.
Hold on a second. I'm checking something else.
His email.
Nope.
Checking his email.
Okay. What the fuck happened?
Are you checking previous categories?
Oh, yeah. No, okay. I'm just thinking like biggest, because Ballad of Buster Scruggs didn't make anything except for biggest miss. And I just want to make sure because like, Jesus Christ, that has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. What are we doing? You say
let's
what?
Move Sharp Objects up.
Sharp
Throw
Objects?
it to the top for now.
To the top?
Yeah.
Oof,
it's just easy.
All right. Okay. Handmaid's Tale. I don't think it's better than Daredevil.
For me, it goes to the bottom. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Better Call. I didn't like Better Call Saul much this year. I thought it's above average television, but that's barely cracking the top 10 for me. Dog. I think Legion's
Better Call Saul is better than Ozark.
Better than Daredevil, but not Expanse.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do that, but we've got like the dueling who the fuck knows off between Homecoming and Legion.
No, this is the fucking rough sort. I kind of want to keep Better Call Saul and Ozark paired because I feel like my battle is going to be over that. My personal battle.
Yeah, which ones are you? Is that what you're saying? You don't know which one's better,
right? Let's
say the Deuce
for now. The Deuce to the top.
To the top.
Yeah,
with the Deuce. How about Maniac? Maniac might get in the top 10 here.
Maybe that's
better than Ozark. Weird. If it's not, it's going to have a rough time. I think it's better than Better Call Saul. I think it's better than Daredevil, and that's where it starts getting tough for me.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean,
the Daredevil's the best Marvel Cinematic Universe thing on Netflix, but that's not saying a lot.
Right.
There's been a handful of really good seasons. I don't think any of them have been flawless. And this is... Okay, let me ask you this. You've seen all Daredevil now?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a wasted is this the first episode where all the episodes were kind of impactful? Like it felt like they had enough villains, enough twists, enough
plot.
And also Foggy and Karen were enough characters that they could run a couple episodes without, Daredevil being the main guy. I think that they find at the end of the run of the Marvel universe, they figured it out. They figured out a 13 episode season that was successful and never felt like it dragged.
I agree.
But again, it's better than season 1 of Daredevil even, I think.
Maybe. I think it's a little less impactful on me simply because it's season 3 of a show.
Yeah.
As opposed to this brand new.
Right. We didn't know what the ceiling for Daredevil was.
Right.
I think it's a little bit better, but it's probably academic.
You're probably right about that.
Okay. So I don't think Better Call Saul's better than Daredevil. Is Maniac better than Daredevil? I think it is.
Really?
I've not seen anything like Maniac before, and it felt risky. It felt,
and I think that's the argument I'm gonna probably make for Homecoming.
Okay,
so I'm okay going with that argument.
So Maniac above Daredevil. And we've both seen them both, so but I think that's where it stops. Because
it can't.
Legion does a lot of what it's doing better, and
the top 5 is a murderer's row in my opinion.
Right?
Just like, come on. Hill House is better than it has any right to be for a horror series.
I think it's better than Better Call Saul. I think it's better than Handmaid's Tale. I think it's better than Daredevil. I think it's better than Maniac.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Let's move it up to at least 6.
It's so hard to do long form horror.
Mm-hmm. They tried it with
Without-
River years ago, which
without
I
being,
loved, but
yeah, I heard a lot of good things about that.
they canceled it after one season.
Yeah, was it a cliffhanger too?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't
Worst.
conclude the story, that's for sure.
The worst.
Yeah.
All right, so
Altered Carbon, I have a sci-fi bias.
I like Altered Carbon.
I think Altered Carbon's world building alone puts it above like Better Call Saul.
Yep. It's hard getting over Daredevil though, because it has some cheesy shit. It's some cheesy shit. Big ideas.
Sometimes,
some of them are
yeah.
half baked. I have a hard time putting
Man.
over Handmaids even, because it's punching above its weight for a genre show.
Mm-hmm.
But like The Expanse, I think transcends the genre. I think The Expanse
The
could
Expanse
be
is Game of Thrones.
with proper marketing could be Game of Thrones. It could be
Yeah.
this breakout hit. I just don't know if it's ever going to get there on Amazon. But
Okay, so what's your 11?
yeah,
That's what you're suggesting?
I could go because like again, and that's more of a statement for Better Call Saul having an off year than Altered Carbon. I don't even know I can defend that.
I don't
This
feel
is-
like Altered Carbon is better than Better Call Saul this year. But,
I liked it more though.
Okay, I don't think I did,
Okay,
but I'm not like super passionate about this.
it doesn't seem like we're arguing the top 10. So like,
No, I think the top 10 is well.
I
Aside
actually
from Handmaid's Tale, that's a weird one. I don't feel like that belongs there simply because
neither one of us saw it.
we haven't watched all of it. I haven't watched any of it.
I mean, it's making a lot of people's top 10 though. I mean, that's one. I mean, that's
yeah,
a
but
kind
I think
of
it would
shitty argument.
artificially
But
end up in our top 10.
I'm not cool putting something in the top 10 that we haven't both seen and that
Right.
neither of us has seen all. So okay, what jumps over it?
I'd take everything from Ozark up.
I kind of want to sweat the drama category because I think it's the most important one, the one that people
Yeah.
have. So like, I kind of want to sort this out to the top 20 even.
I mean, oh well, if you want to do that, then I don't know where to put Handmaid's Tale. But I don't think Handmaid's Tale can rise any higher than Succession.
Okay, man, I just have a hard time putting Altered Carbon above it, even though I haven't, because like I've seen all of Altered Carbon, you know, and I think its ceiling is just lower than Handmaid's Tale from judging what I've seen of season 1 and season 2. But I didn't hear that anyone said this Handmaid's Tale really fell off a fucking cliff. How about this? But I mean, do you want? I think Ozark could go higher.
Okay.
Is Ozark better than Altered Carbon? You're saying? How about Succession?
Yeah, Ozark did away with a lot of the problems it had in season 1.
What about Westworld? Is Westworld better than Altered Carbon?
Is Westworld better than Altered Carbon? Fuck me.
It's a better
that's a pretty
show
good
that I didn't
comparison.
think I enjoyed as much. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: we didn't really cover Altered Carbon. If I covered Westworld the way I covered Altered Carbon, I might like it better.
Just binging it. And
Just having to
doing an
overanalyze
episode.
that show and watch it 3 times and look at everybody's crazy theories and try to manage the timeline. That was a lot. Like, that was work I wouldn't do if I was a fan. I'd be like, okay, this is engaging me and I'm going to keep watching, but I'm not going to obsess over it on Reddit because I did that. You know what I mean? And whereas Altered Carbon, I just watched it and, you know, I binged it and had a good time doing it. And I talked about it over 2 podcasts.
Yeah.
Westworld, because it's such a big show, got probably more coverage than it deserved this year. But what are you going to do?
So, is that an argument for keeping the order of Altered Carbon in Westworld?
No, I think Westworld should go over Altered Carbon because I think it's a better show. It's just we didn't enjoy it as much. I mean, yeah, there's this like the lead of Altered Carbon's is Cover Your Eyes bad. I think. I think both
he's
of the
not
leads.
that bad. The lady lead.
I could name
I think
10.
It's worse
I could name probably 5 guys of his stature that would be better.
Bah. Yeah, I think we disagree on that, but I could probably agree that Westworld is a better made
OG
show.
Kashi, or what his name, is better than the
Takeshi,
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. That's really rough. Be like if Jon Snow had inhabited a second body and was better than Kit Harington. You know,
If he came back as
as a little Asian man,
yeah,
as a ripped and shredded Asian man, and he's better than Jon Snow. He's
who
a
could
better
actually
Jon-
emote.
Yeah, he's a better Jon Snow than Jon Snow. He's got an
Right.
intensity, like, you know, not a sleepiness to him.
What if Jon Snow came back as Stephen Strait? They just
that would be fucking hilarious.
Maybe they could swap roles on the show somehow.
It would be hilarious to do a parody of The Expanse with the Game of Thrones crew and doing a parody of Game of Thrones with the Expanse crew. Because there's a lot of lineup there.
Oh yeah.
You'd run out of kids real quick.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think I'm with you on Altered Carbon not being as good of a show, but honestly, Westworld might be riding high on a little of its season 1 success. Because boy, there were times when I didn't like Westworld.
Oh yeah,
and some of it was definitely like how we covered it.
There's a couple times I didn't like Altered Carbon too, but I just went to the next episode.
Right.
Okay, so and that's the other thing. Like, also, I hate having to take strong emotional stands on episode by episode because, like, well, let's Westworld. Like, I could just let Altered Carbon play. Like, the worst episode of Altered Carbon, I wasn't forced to stop and be like, this is such a shitty episode, and like, it's like it's weird. It's weird covering this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the binge model is tough on our business model, but it's a hell of a lot easier as a reviewer.
Yeah. And it's a lot easier to like put kind of Coke bottles or beer goggles on and be like, just
get a holistic feel of the
because I think of the look and feel, which is amazing, how slick and big budget it looked. I think about the big ideas about post-humanism, and I don't think about how shitty Kovacs was and the female cop and how hackneyed some of the, like, especially once you got out of the main cast. Woo boy. Some of those Methuselah people were shitty. The support, some of the supporting cast around the female cop, like, not great.
I mean, I could say almost all of those same things about Westworld. Like, you get out of the main, the main cast is bigger. I'll say the main cast is bigger and probably better overall. But like, you get out of that and you get into some of the goons,
all the Delos and goons, but I think they're intentionally bad. You're supposed to be like, oh, these fucking humans, and that's unfortunate.
But they're unbelievably bad.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They go so far in that direction that I just don't buy into the world they're creating.
I don't think they're smart people. Yeah, they're supposed to be. So okay, but I still think Altered Carbon's just across the board worse. Like, it's not as good looking. It's not as well acted. It's not as well conceived. It's not as well built. It's just so. All right. Now we got a problem because I think you like Ozark better than Westworld and Altered Carbon, and maybe even above Handmaid's Tale. But does it crack the top 10?
With Better Call Saul as the ceiling. Man, I'm not as down on Better Call Saul this year as you were, I think.
That's probably true.
But overall, I'm actually up on Ozark this season. I think Ozark improved on a lot of the bullshit that it got away with in season 1, simply because of performances and, the setting was interesting and plot. But man, there was some contrived shit in there in season 1, which they didn't do in season 2.
So what are you saying?
Making it overall a better season. I want to say, I would put that at 10.
Better than Better Call Saul. Holy shit. Okay.
I think so.
I mean, I saw it crack the top 10 on some people's lists when I was going through the different ones.
I mean, it's just a tighter, better version of season 1.
And you like season 1 a lot.
And I did like season 1, yeah.
Okie doke.
With minor exceptions.
Do we need to make any changes now?
To the top 10?
Yeah, it's definitely due to top. Well, does anything in let's go. Like, Better Call Saul, you already decided not. Is Handmaid's Tale, I don't think we can say is better than Ozark. Westworld, better than Ozark? No. Altered Carbon?
No.
Succession, better than Ozark? Nope. Succession didn't need to move up?
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't enjoy Succession as much.
And I think we're fine with
Carbon.
16 on down. So
yeah.
Okay.
The ones that don't matter.
Sure. Black Mirror Bandersnatch, can I just remove it?
Yeah,
because I feel like that's shitting on it unfairly.
No, we wanted to talk about it, but
yeah, we'll talk about it in the biggest miss. All right, so now we have to go and actually sort the top 10. Is Sharp Objects better than Deuce? I say yes. I mean, it's a tough one because, like, better, like, it's like the Deuce is really good. It's really good.
but I've never seen anything like Sharp Objects before.
Sharp Objects is a harrowing experience to watch that. The Deuce is, in my opinion, effortless to watch. Like,
Yes.
I sat down every week happy to be watching The Deuce.
Yeah.
I
it
was happy
teaches
to
you
watch Sharp
things.
Objects because I knew it was a great show,
Yeah.
and I knew it would take me on a fucking emotional journey, but I have to weigh, like, how much did I enjoy the experience of watching it versus how good is it?
Right.
Because I know Expanse is going to make marks in those categories, but damn.
Man, I like both of those a lot. Okay, let's broaden out. Is The Terror better than Sharp Objects?
I don't know how I could put The Terror above Sharp Objects.
Okay. Is The Expanse better than The Terror? I say yes. But
I mean, The Expanse has gotten consistently better. It was great in season 2.
yeah, I thought it was good in
And
season
then
1.
It went above and beyond.
It took a leap. It took a big leap, I think.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. And after I've read the novels that the 3 seasons are based on, I'm really pleased with what all the changes they've made. There's a couple minor exceptions with Naomi's character and like Holden's arc that I thought that the books did, and I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I think The Expanse goes above The Terror, but boy, it's hard for me. I liked it. It's my favorite show this season.
Yeah,
this year.
I think easily my favorite.
But I can't say it's better than Sharp Objects.
I'll say the level of difficulty of nailing The Expanse is higher than both. It might not be higher than The Deuce, actually. It's definitely higher than Sharp Objects.
Really?
But I don't think it's higher than The Deuce as far as just sheer level of difficulty because of the moving parts, right?
Yeah, but like
The Expanse is this it's not interstellar. It's this. What's the prefix for encompassing the whole thing?
Pan?
Sure, it's this pan-stellar story of it's
intrastellar, like Interstellar?
Yeah. Of both the macro and the micro, and they nail both of those.
And it feels like it's a real economy. It feels like it's a real political system. It's
incredibly entertaining and funny and
and it keeps subverting what you think it's going to be about too, because like I thought we were building into this apocalyptic, mankind versus some unknown cosmic threat.
Right.
Hell, we still might be, but it feels more like like a toddler's been given a machine gun at the end of season 3, and that the tension is not that the army officer that owns the machine gun is going to come back to punish a child. It's just like, Jesus Christ, what is this child going to do with this machine gun?
Yeah.
So
and it never fully gives itself over to like the genre, right? It's beyond genre.
But here's the thing, Sharp Objects, like, it's a long meditation on female pain and suffering. That's not easy to translate either.
Especially to me as a male.
Right.
Who can identify with certain emotions, but this is the most vivid depiction of that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where I don't know. Like, I actually think Sharp Objects I think Sharp Objects might be the number 1 show. I kind of want to go.
Let's move it to number 1 for now and
right.
see what we think about The Expanse versus The Deuce, because I feel like
God, it's like better. I don't know, but I would put it above The Deuce, and that's not to take away anything to Deuce. The Deuce is probably as fun. It definitely teaches you more about, but it's not, The Expanse doesn't teach you anything. I also feel like there's a little bit of like, this is a remix. Like this is a easier to engage with version of The Wire. That also like setting it in like about the porn industry, kind of like, I think people have very strong feelings about like drugs and gangsters and things like that, but this is it's a little bit more of removed for people to kind of see the social story that David Simon's trying to tell. But it does feel like if I'd seen this before The Wire, I think it would blow my mind, but like my politics already got The Wire treatment. So I think The Expanse, I cannot defend it's better.
No, but I can defend more entertaining.
It's more, yeah.
And I think this is a blend of both of those.
Yeah. And that's important. Like, that's what Game of Thrones. Like, Game of Thrones is rarely the best show on television, but it's gorgeous and fun and accessible and everyone. So
no, it's why Breaking Bad is still my favorite show. So
yeah,
like I'm biased toward you give me fun too, you know.
So Sharp Objects, The Expanse, Deuce, we're feeling good about that.
I think so, and I think maybe the Terror where it's at too. Although I would talk about the Terror and Homecoming next.
Oh, I was gonna say Terror the Deuce. I want to make sure that we do like to do like this close.
So I think the Terror has a couple of big flaws.
Okay. The actual resolution of the plot.
Yeah. And just straight up like the effects on the monster. The design of the monster. I don't like that monster.
Yeah. Never should have seen it in close up.
Yeah.
Very much like the Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Like the second that thing pops out of water, it stops becoming menacing.
Yeah. Now that I say a couple big flaws, I'm having trouble thinking of another.
I think that's
that might be its one big drawback.
Yeah.
That in my mind makes it.
Man, if they'd have handled that just a little bit, like let it be a little bit more mysterious, or a little bit of like, is this what's really happening, or is it the men's, like this is all happening to men's minds? But they didn't.
They really go for.
And that's where everything comes together, falls apart.
And I think the Terror created moments that were as good as anything that the Deuce created. Like when I think of moments, I think of Cece and Lori, and I think of the carnival episode from the Terror.
I think of, like I said, the guy trying to unjam the propeller underneath the ice shelf. I think about,
and that's in episode 1. That's like from the beginning.
Well, also like the confused blizzard where the guys are out trying to hunt them and they end up shooting the what do you call that? Inuit old man, and the whole thing with the girl, the whole relationship where they're trying to, the one doctor's trying to build this relationship with the Native American woman and communicate with her, and there's a lot of like really nice set piece moments in the Terror.
And the Deuce too. I think hitting like the poker game was a moment that like really stands out to me.
Yep. And then like the 2 left feet height, like that was really funny. And are you talking about the poker game where he won the? Are you talking about the hold
they
up?
busted up, yeah.
Okay, because the one where he wins the Korean dry cleaner.
Oh, right. Yeah, Frankie does.
Yeah, I even like, a lot of people didn't, but I even like
that
Vincent.
Line is good.
I even like Vincent going to Vermont.
Oh yeah,
and just fucking around in Vermont,
hanging
for a day.
out with the people at the bar.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. Both of those shows create some great moments.
I think I'm fine with that.
I have a hard time putting the Terror over the Deuce, though.
Yeah. Now, I think the battle for number 5 is going to be fierce because I don't have any affection. I don't have as much affection for Homecoming as you do. I have immense affection for.
It's so innovative.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you, but like, I'm judging against Legion, which that's the thing. Like, so I've seen 3 episodes of Sam Esmail's like next level thing. You haven't seen anything of season 2 of Noah Hawley's Next Level,
right?
But yeah, I don't know what to do.
I mean, are we in agreement that 5 is either going to be Homecoming or Legion? I think it has to be. I think there's no way I put Haunting of Hill House or Maniac or obviously anything below it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think this is the number 5 is kind of like the real battle. Then like 6 through 10 is going to be less important. So Legion, man.
I
can tell they're both intensely psychological pieces too.
Yeah.
So like,
this is so hard because you haven't seen all of Homecoming, and it from where you are, it just gets better. And
Legion's
better.
a genre. Like that's the thing. It's like
but
it's a genre work. So there's a lot of
It is, yeah.
As much as it delights me to see a bunch of weird psycho spaces, and dance battles, and color fights and shit that happen.
Color fights. I'm sure that makes sense to Legion
I'm
viewers.
trying to just intentionally say something ridiculous, like some kind of palette this thing's painting with. But
right.
And it's really fascinating and cool, but I haven't seen Homecoming, and Homecoming looks like it might be a little bit more serious.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So I kind of feel like now maybe Daredevil goes above Maniac. Is Daredevil better than Haunting?
Wait, are you saying that
I'm
Homecoming
ready
and
to
Legion are in
grant
the right
Homecoming and Legion are in the right order.
Okay.
But you've seen season 1 of Legion, and if I say season 2 is 30% better, then do you think that's still comfortably under Homecoming's?
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
well that's fine.
Okay.
So now is Haunting better than Homecoming, or is Maniac better than Haunting? Is Daredevil better than Haunting?
No, I think the difficulty of what Haunting is doing is maybe about as high as Maniac's is. I'll give it that. Like, Maniac is so weird and original.
Yeah, but Maniac's like 4.5 hours long. Like, Haunting Hill generates pretty good dread and scares for over 8 hours.
Yeah. And I would argue that Haunting of Hill House just gets better and better as it goes.
Yes, as you know more about the characters and the
as
family.
they stop leaning on jump scares and they lean on more of the atmosphere.
Honestly, after you give out like the first 2 episodes, there's not a lot of jump scares. And there's a couple of jump scares that I don't even know that I can call jump scares. Like, there's this point where the 2 sisters are fighting in a car, and it's just such a raw, emotionally just grounded in their family dynamic fight that you forget it's a fucking ghost story.
Right.
So then when is that a jump scare? Or is that just like a really well construed scheme?
That's a jump scare that I think works because
not all jump scares
you're not
are created
looking
equal.
for the jump scare at
right.
that moment. Like,
you are so engrossed in the intensely. It's not like, we're fucking, and there's a cat.
right,
Let me check out the
characters walking down the creepy hall.
Right.
Which door is the ghost gonna jump out
and
of?
the focus is pulling, and so, like it's just you're just in the middle of as good a dialogue scene as I've seen other, and then something genuinely terrifying happens. And that to me is not a jump scare.
It's tied into what they're talking about, right? Because she's thinking, she's crazy in this moment, and she's trying to defend herself, and then boom, this conversationally related jump scare happens, and you're like, damn, that was. That
and it makes sense from the ghost perspective, if that makes sense, like as you find out later.
Yeah.
Like, I think this will be a fun rewatch too, because I bet there's a lot of shit that, like, in retrospect,
No, I think I'm happy with Hill House where it is.
Daredevil better than Maniac? Daredevil's so successful, and Maniac, I think, was ambitious. It's pretty successful, though. I mean, Cary Fukunaga... What's his name? Cary Joe Fukunaga? Cary?
I just thought it was Cary.
He's really good. He's really, really fucking good with a look and feel and a perspective. So I guess
that sort of examination of trauma and mental psychosis. Now, I will say I think the ending of this kind of shits the bed. Because
that's why I was trying to say is like it's ambitious but maybe not as successful as Daredevil, whereas Daredevil is not ambitious. It essentially goes back to what we liked about season 1 and kind of but it is it doesn't have a single misstep in my opinion. Maybe Foggy's political career. There's a few times where I'm like, this guy is not the guy who can carry this role, who I cannot suddenly just take seriously.
And I think maybe his plans are not quite as well thought out as
but crucially, they're not smart. His opposition is just stupid. Like when this guy comes and takes over your campaign rally,
right?
Like imagine Hillary showing up at a Trump rally and be like, yeah, what he's saying's cool, but I'm just going to take over this room.
Yeah,
like come on, that doesn't happen.
No, it was a little suspect in areas, but
a defense attorney's going to waltz into a police ball and take over from
one who's not even on the ballot, by the way. He's a write-in.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. This is like the Penguin giving his speech and Harvey Dent showing up.
But I like how the Kingpin just had leverage over everybody. Like there's a scene where like the one part where I started taking Foggy's storyline seriously is when I realized his family was under the Kingpin's thumb.
Yeah, with that predatory loan.
Yeah. And how like I think that's like they did a great job of showing how a man like the Kingpin can. It's not even about like greed. It's like this guy. I've made stupid decisions about predatory loans that didn't get me in hawk with the fucking Uber mob.
Yeah.
You know, like a comic book villain level mob, you know? Like, it's like, people do this. Times get tough, and it's not just about, like, someone's naked greed that, like, you know, you see that all the time where it's like, oh, this guy deserved it. You know, he's stepping out from his wife, or he's, you know, he's wanting $100,000, betray, blah, blah, blah. This was much better. And they did it with multiple characters where it's like, Jesus, if I was in the spot, I might be on the Kingpin's payroll.
So can you explain to me the ending of Maniac? Because I think what I saw was a maniacal prison break. Which in my mind sort of undermines the whole series. Like, I don't think this person is fit to live a life out in the real world. I think he's going to get himself killed. He's probably going to hurt other people in the process.
But what was the pros?
And it's this big moment of, like, we're escaping and we're driving off into the sunset, right? Like, don't she busts him out and they drive away together, and that's like the end of the show.
But how is that a betrayal of the? You think it's supposed to be a moment of triumph, and you're saying it's? I think that's,
and I feel like it's a mistake. It's a huge mistake that these characters are making because he's dangerous to himself and others.
But yeah, I think that it's one of those things where it's like a telescope, like you can look at it through both ways and see slightly different perspective.
Yeah, like I think
that's why it's supposed to be like complex.
Like it's
supposed, yeah, that's why it's supposed to be kind of, that's the complexity. That you have a moment of triumph that might be like oh God.
I guess I assumed with the way you hammered Better Call Saul about its realism in like therapy settings and the usefulness of it, that you would be a little more down on the ending of this thing.
But I guess I didn't see this as a realistic take on that. This seems like Terry
ridiculous.
What's the weirdo
Gilliam?
Yeah, it's a Terry Gilliam take on therapy,
which
I don't know. It's the Monty Python guy.
Yeah.
That made Brazil and 12 Monkeys, like
Zero Theorem.
Yeah. That shit, like that's all gone. Like none of that's supposed to be taken seriously as like programming or, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is more just a feel good ending.
Like for example, like
these characters freed from
like I don't think that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a serious look at drug culture.
Right.
Like that's the 0.001% of drug users, right? Like that's like the rock star He-Man Master of the Universe drug user. That's not consistent with any of my experience with recreational drugs, right?
Sure.
And I think that's kind of like Maniac to Therapy. It's just so gonzo and sci-fi and kind of next level that it's exploring a whole other aspect of the human condition other than just like a mental disorder. I guess.
Yeah, I feel you.
So does that settle anything for you, or?
I don't know, because I mean, in my opinion, that was the biggest misstep in Maniac. It's just the ending, but I guess if I'm okay seeing it through that end of the telescope.
But I will say that, like, so that's the thing. As Maniac, I think, is a little vulnerable. That it was ambitious but flawed. Whereas Daredevil was not ambitious but not unambitious. It was just like the next logical thing for Daredevil to do, and they executed it at an A+ level and never really stumbled. And it's the first time Marvel did that. So I kind of think I enjoyed, even though Daredevil like 3 times longer, I think I enjoyed it more than Maniac.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like super strongly about either of those. So yeah, let's switch them.
Okay.
But I think Ozark can't rise above Maniac.
I was wondering what you're going to say about that.
I mean, Maniac is just so different and interesting that, I mean, Ozark is more Ozark, and it's basically more Breaking Bad. Like, how high can it go?
Okay. I think that's a pretty good top 10.
Okay.
What's wild is, I think this is the first time in a long time that like the top 10 has turned over this much.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I mean, Westworld hit top 10 last year.
I don't think so, because Westworld took more than a year to come back.
Oh yeah. If it wasn't on, it hit top 10 last year. It was on for sure.
Let me see what the 2017 top 10 drama.
I want to say Better Call Saul was in that league.
I think we only did the top 5 for Best TV comedy for best actor. TV drama. So we had The Leftovers, Stranger Things 2, Mr. Robot, The Deuce, and Fargo. The Deuce is the only thing that's returning, right? That's wild.
Yeah.
And like the top, like, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Then it
some
was
of
The
those shows
Young
went off
Pope,
the air.
Handmaid's Tale, Godless, Expanse, and Game of Thrones. So out of top 10, only 2 returned. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, it's just a lot of shows just took the year off, didn't come back. And they're all going to come back this year.
I think that is the list. You want to recap the top
Okay, top 10. Your top 10. Sharp Objects at 1. 2, The Expanse. 3, The Deuce. 4, The Terror. There's lots of big year for the word the. 5, Homecoming. 6, Legion. 7, The Haunting of Hill House. 8, Daredevil. 9, Maniac. 10, Ozark.